Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Bobby. We've got Rob and we've got Dave. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well, Bobby. How about you? How
Doing
about you,
good.
Dave?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. It's a beautiful night down here in North Carolina. With this
Yes,
time
sir.
change, it makes it feel like midnight already.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I hear you. It's same here. Plus, it's really cold here, so not enjoying that either. It's like
Uh,
in the low 40s right now.
Not bad. I already have a fire going in the fireplace by now.
Yeah, no. Not, it's cold. It's only 40, like 45. But this weekend, Rob came up, visited. We went, did my dad's celebration of life. It was in the 60s.
Yeah,
He leaves and he takes all the warm air with him.
right. Well, maybe that was just all Rob's hot air.
I was just gonna say, I knew that was gonna come up. I was gonna say that's because I like to talk a lot. So
So,
I'm not using my hands. I got them like holding on to my desk, so I can't be Ricky Bobby tonight.
well, guys, this is episode 46 of the Area 51 Racing Podcast. And with that being said, let's start our intro.
Yeah, Area 51 podcast.
Jeremy Clements is going to win in Daytona.
Did you guys believe this? Oh my God.
So here comes the young lady out of Lincoln, California, the 67 of Kylie Glick. There goes Kylie Glick.
In the pitch living my dream. I don't think that they ready. Let's go. This is Cap Houston right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
Okay. So this is episode 46. Our special guest tonight is Robert Sharp. Yeah,
That's me.
That'd be you, Rob.
Yeah, you.
Holy cow!
We've done an
I'm
interview with
honored.
myself. We've done one with Dave. Rob wasn't here last week, so we're gonna do it this week.
I unfortunately got a concussion. I what do you want to call it? I rearranged the marbles in my head a little bit by hitting it so too hard. So, yeah, so I wasn't feeling great last week, and my doctor told me I couldn't do computers or TV for 2 days because I was light and motion sensitive. So that's why I wasn't on last week. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
But-
no apologies needed. You need a couple days to sit in the dark, listen to some Depeche Mode, and just relax.
Yeah. Depeche Mode or like so like Dark Side of the Moon or something like that.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything better.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I since I wasn't on last week, I just want to congratulate Kylie Glick on her junior late model track championship at All American Speedway. Super proud of her and her team, and really cool that she was able to do that in her first year in a full-bodied stock car. So, also congratulations to Kenna Mitchell as well. She won the Pro Late Model Championship at the same track, same night, and it's pretty cool. Two female drivers at the same track winning the championship, and they're only, I think, Kenna's 18, maybe something like that, 19. They're around, so they're not too far off in age. So that's pretty cool. So, but
What did you guys think of Kylie and Kenna being on CBS Nightly News?
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely awesome. If you hadn't heard about that, go to our Facebook. We got it posted at the Area 51 Racing Podcast Facebook page. You can watch that whole clip on there.
How long was that? Do you remember?
I want to say I think it was right around 5 to 6 minutes. But
yeah,
it was,
something like that.
but it was a really good interview.
Yeah, it was the CBS national news on Saturday night. I got to Bobby and his fiance Adrian's house on Saturday morning, and that afternoon, I think it was that afternoon, Miranda had texted Bobby and said, "Hey, just so you know, Kylie and Kenna are going to be on the national news on CBS. They did a story on her, so
All right.
it was pretty cool.
Here, matter of fact, we're gonna do it right here, right now. It's 2 minutes, so we're gonna do it live right now.
Sarah Christian was the first woman driver to compete in NASCAR's top division. That was back in 1949. Her Ford, the middle car here, was owned by her husband, Fred. Well, NASCAR is still mostly a male-dominated sport. In tonight's Weekend Journal, Brady Halbleib of CBS Sacramento shows us how 2 teenagers are chasing their own dreams for victory on the racetrack.
The roar of engines zooming around the track could be heard for miles at the All-American Speedway in Roseville, California. The drivers and their crews battling for a NASCAR championship. 2 of them racing at top speed to break through the glass ceiling.
It doesn't make a lot of men happy when a 14-year-old girl beats them on the track.
You heard that right. 14-year-old Kylie Glick from Lincoln, California, leaving the boys in the dust.
She's racing a full-size late model car that is basically like a NASCAR Cup-style car.
And it's another great launch for Kylie Glick in the 67. And
Kylie does not have a driver's license. She has a NASCAR license, which allows her to compete. It's her rookie year on the junior late model stock car circuit. The first-year driver dominating the field, defying expectations as she pursues a championship title.
I think I've been doing that a lot this season, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for me and hopefully make it to the NASCAR Cup Series and prove a lot of people wrong.
There goes Kenna Mitchell up.
Another driver making an impact, 18-year-old Kenna Mitchell from Loomis, California. At just 18 years old, last month Mitchell became the first female super late model champion at the All-American Speedway.
Kenna Mitchell wins both the pro and the super.
Just like Kylie Glick, Mitchell is eager to move up in the big leagues, the NASCAR Cup Series.
NASCAR for sure, that'd be super cool to race in, especially knowing like there's not a lot of like female drivers up in the Cup.
Mitchell and Glick compete in different race circuits, but both know they might inspire others.
So I hope we can show them up and just show them what we have.
And show the next generation of female race car drivers that they have what it takes to win. Brady Halbleib, CBS News, Roseville, California.
How freaking cool is that?
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then if you're sitting there and you're watching that, right? Like Rob and I were watching it, and it gets over, and we both look at each other and we go, Area 51 was on national TV.
Yeah, I was watching it, and one of the still shots, it's right on the, right dead center, right over the exhaust, and I'm like, man, that is just so sweet.
Very.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's so cool watching how she's progressed through the year, and Kylie, and what the future holds for her is pretty bright, and Kenna as well. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that we were talking to her spotter last week, and they were saying that they were gonna kind of keep the reins on her, and she was still learning and this, that, and the other. And now she's driving the pro stock class, the one Kenna was racing. And if she had a leash on her this year, and everything was hey, we're learning, and she won the championship, who knows what she's going to do next year once she gets into one of the high horsepower cars and actually gets up there and runs.
Absolutely.
Because
in those two races,
4th through 6th on her pro stuff right now.
Yeah,
that's why I was just gonna say, like, there's 2 races that she ran, one at All American and one at the Bull Ring in Vegas. She qualified 4th at Vegas, at a track she's never seen before until that weekend, and ends up running. I think she finished P8 or something like that, and then the other race she finished P9. I think it was at Rossville All American Speedway. So yeah, she's got. For race, like I said, racing in a full-bodied car in the first year, that's just natural talent. Because seat time goes along with it, but just that's just natural talent in general, and a good support system and team around her that has helped her develop. So, like I said, she's got a bright future ahead of her. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping that we can continue to help her on her journey, and we're allowed to. I mean, that'd be a real proud moment for us.
Absolutely, I agree 100%, Dave.
So, episode or segment 1 is going to be brought to you by Spartan Waste, Nordic Logistics, Alliance Driveway Solutions. We're just going to hit everybody tonight. Rob's our only guest. We're preparing for next week's episode. It's going to be a good one. Rob, how did you get started in rooting for Jeremy Clements, and also how did you get started in racing?
So I'll start with the Jeremy Clements. So Jeremy Clements, I got involved in. My son Brett is also a huge race fan. Growing up, obviously my favorite drivers: Mark Martin, Alan Kwiecki, Dick Trickle. I watched a lot of short track racing as a kid. My home track was Lake Geneva Raceway, which was like 5 minutes from my house. Unfortunately, it's not there anymore due to urban development and growth. It's now a senior living facility, unfortunately. So
that's where I want to go. I just put me out on a racetrack.
Yeah,
60 and over.
They tore it up. I sent Bobby an aerial photo of it. It shows the track all chopped up and broken up and stuff. That was the only aerial view I could find of the track. But so basically with Jeremy Clements, my son Brett went to the Road America race in 2017, and that obviously is the race where Jeremy beat Matt Tiff to get his first NASCAR Xfinity Series race win. And my health wasn't good at that time, so I didn't go with him. And I was watching the race at home, and I was like, this is awesome. This small independent team is putting it to the big teams. And Matt Tiff, I knew who he was with one of the race teams that we raced against. Matt's spotter was, on occasion when he didn't have a race, a NASCAR race, he spotted for one of our competitors. So I knew Matt Tifton. I liked him too. I cheered for him as well. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. These two guys are fighting it out. And when Jeremy won, it was awesome. That's basically how I became a fan. And then I got to meet him at Road America in 2023 through Whitetail Smokeless, Rob Kikebush and Justin Sharpie from Driftless Glen. They every year did like a meet and greet deal where they set up tents in Turn 5 at Road America, and then Jeremy would come and then he'd meet everybody and sign autographs and stuff. And so that's the first time I actually met Jeremy in person. It was a pretty cool experience. My son and his girlfriend were with. And like I said, my son was a Jeremy Clements fan before I was. And then as far as racing, like I was saying, probably from, I don't know, as a baby, my mom and dad took me to the racetrack. There was a dirt track not far from our house that they would go and they'd watch, or I guess I technically was watching too because I was there, but modifieds, dirt modifieds and stuff. And then Lake Geneva Raceway was an asphalt track. Originally it was a 1/4 mile track with a drag strip. And then I think it was 1986 around then, the new owners made it into a 1/3 mile oval paved track. And every weekend, every Saturday when we went to Lake Geneva Raceway. My mom, dad, my brother, and I, and I just fell in love with the sport of racing, and that's where I got to watch Mark Martin when the ArtGo series would race there, or some of the special series that he raced in, and and I followed his career through ASA and then all the way up through NASCAR, and I'm still obviously a fan today. So that's why I was so pumped up when him and Matt, his son, were on our podcast. We were able to talk to him. I think it was episode 25 or something like that. That was just that was one of the coolest moments that for me personally, racing wise. But and then after, like, growing up, once I got hired as a law enforcement officer, I really didn't go to races anymore because I was working weekends and nights and everything. So I'd watch NASCAR on TV, but I wasn't going to any of the tracks. I did go to the last race. I think it was October 1st of 2006 at Lake Geneva Raceway before they tore it down. A group from work went there, and we had like one of the press box type, I don't know what they called it, but with the food and the drink and stuff. And we watched the race from that, and that was cool, but sad at the same time because it was my local track that I grew up at. And so for years I didn't do anything, and then in it was probably 2013, 2014, I had a friend of mine who raced, and my son and I went and stopped by his race shop, and the driver who I ultimately joined his team ended up showing up with some shocks, and he ended up living like 2 blocks away from my house. So he is like, hey, if you like racing, stop over sometime and you see the car and stuff. Well, then me and him became really good friends, and I would walk over to his house and we'd work on the race car all the time. One winter we built a whole late model from just a bare chassis all the way up to a running car. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And with my health stuff, I was limited as what I could do. And so I did some of that stuff, not a lot of heavy stuff, but I did a lot of all his social media stuff. And then there was one of our competitors named Michael Bilderback, who was a multi-time track champion at Rockford Speedway and state of Illinois, NASCAR. Well, at the time it was Wheeling All-American Series champion. He was pitted next to us, and I became really good friends with him and his grandma and his team. So after my buddy didn't race, he got in a really bad wreck, totaled his car, caught on fire, and so he didn't race anymore after that for like a year. So I was asked by the Michael Bilderback's grandma to do the PR stuff for them. They got had an agreement to race like the ASA type ARCA Midwest Tour, I guess it was called at the time, and then a bunch of the bigger purse races throughout the United States through Super Seal. And we raced like 2 races, and then the deal got pulled because of Super Seal had sponsored Rick Crawford, who was a truck series driver, and he got in a bunch of legal troubles at the time. So Super Seal pulled all their sponsorships for everything. And unfortunately, then my friend, that all ended. So he just went back to racing the local tracks in the Midwest and on it with his own equipment and stuff. So, but yeah, I still am a fan of racing. I watch NASCAR every week. In fact, I do fantasy NASCAR. I just won a fantasy NASCAR league through a Matt DiBenedetto fan page. I'm a huge fan of his, as well. And so yeah, so that's basically how I got involved in racing, and this podcast has allowed me to continue on, being involved somewhat in the sport and sharing my love and passion for the sport with you guys. So.
And what was your name on that fantasy racing?
It was Area 51 Racing Podcast. I think it was the Guido Nation fan page or something like that. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, I ended up, I was in first place the whole year. I guess just got lucky. So last year I lost in the same thing, I think I lost by 6 or 7 points. And this year I went wire to wire. So it was a lot of fun, but it's a lot of dedication because you have to watch the races and you have to make sure you change your drivers if they wreck before stage 2 ends. And so, but either way,
we will be doing a fantasy NASCAR thing next year for the Xfinity series on the podcast, and you will give us 2 drivers. Just sort of like how you and Dave and I do it in the group chat. We may just keep it the 3 of us. We may open it up to the fans, and maybe there'll be a prize at the end of it if we involve the fans. But I think it'd be fun. And
yeah, I think
obviously,
we should do it.
You can't pick the same driver every dang week.
Yeah, no, I think we should do the fans. Yeah, do the fans and get a trophy or something, and maybe a little prize pack with it, and that'd be fun.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you can't go Reddick and Hamlin every single week, but like some of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to pick some dark
or
horses.
Kyle Busch.
He just had to win.
Swinging for the fences.
He just had to win one freaking race.
Hey Dave, who you picking this week? I'm picking Brad
Joey
Keselowski,
Logano.
and my dark horse is Kyle Busch.
Dave was picking Joey Logano.
No, I was not. I guarantee you that.
No, so these two. I said I go, who you guys picking this week? Rob's in the truck with me. I look over and I go, I'm already 2 for 2. I'm gonna swing. I was like, who you guys picking? They both go Blaney. I go, okay, well, pick 2. And they're like, nah, Blaney. I'm like, okay. I was like, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano. And they both, I know Rob looked over at me and he goes, Joey's not going to win this.
I honestly didn't think he was going to.
I didn't say anything after that. I thought we were no longer friends. That is how much of a dedicated NASCAR fan I am. We talk about the hauler drivers and stuff like that. Man, if I was to see the double deuce run, down I-85 here, I know it's not the hauler driver's fault that he, I can't even say it on. I can't even say it.
No, don't worry about it. So, Rob, what does the podcast mean to you?
It means a lot. First off, it's given me 2 good friends that obviously just by being a Jeremy Clements fan, I got to meet you and Dave. So that in and of itself is huge. The other thing it means is it allows me to still be involved in some shape, way, form in racing. So like when I lost my career as a law enforcement officer, when I got hurt in the line of duty and had to medically retire, it sucked. I was 45 years old, and it was like pretty devastating. And and then my friend wasn't racing anymore, and then my health started getting worse. So I was like away from that racing stuff, and it sucked. And then Bobby and I were talking. What was it? It was last
October.
October.
It was the end of September, early October.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, and yeah, I said, oh yeah, that'd be fun. And now we're on episode 46. So this has given me, like I said, something to look forward to every week, being able to still talk with people in the business and still be involved, like I said, in racing, which has been awesome. And like I said, the biggest part is being able to be friend, or making 2 new friends, but also by helping promote a bunch of these like grassroots racers. Like, I know it's sort of cliche, but because of our meaning of the Area 51, but I mean, it's true that we're these racers and crew members and hauler drivers and stuff that make the sport go behind the scenes. They deserve credit and coverage just as much as the drivers do. So being able to do that, and then also helping out like Kylie, promoting her, and not only that, her promoting us as well. It means a lot. It's been a lot of fun, and just by doing this, it's fulfilling because we're giving back to the racing community. And we're also, by doing that, we're also sharing information with potential future fans or current fans that hopefully will help the sport last and continue on. So that's the gist of what the podcast means. I mean, I enjoy, like I said, joking around with you guys. You guys are like brothers to me, and it's just a lot of fun. And then obviously we're all Jeremy Clements fans, and we were able to sponsor, be an associate sponsor on his race car, which still to this day blows my mind that we were able to do that in less than a year's time period of this podcast being in existence, and being able to be part of the Jeremy Clements family by being a associate sponsor, and the number of people that we have met through Jeremy Clements Racing, like his partners and stuff. Like we've said repeatedly, and they've said it too on the podcast when we've had him on. It's just one big family, and everybody cares. I mean, it's awesome.
Don't forget about Kylie's associate sponsor also.
Yeah. Yep. Associate sponsor in her car, and then also on with Ashton Higgins' car too, is in the car store. So, I mean, it's just having a platform to do this is pretty rewarding, I would say, and that's the most important thing, I think.
Now, let me ask you a question. Me and Bobby talked about it, how we had met when I did my interview. Now, how did you meet Bobby? Obviously we met through the podcast and, being Jeremy Clements fans, but you guys are a couple states away from each other. How did all that boil down?
So basically, we were Jeremy Clements fans. We were in like Jeremy Clements Racing Facebook, I think it was Facebook page, and it's just somehow, I don't remember specifically what it was, but we ended up chatting about something, and then it turned into we ended up exchanging phone numbers, and then we started talking to each other. I mean, Bobby and I talk pretty much every day, and periodically, Dave, you and I will talk. We have a group chat that we talk in, all of us, every day, saying good morning and good night and that type of stuff, and sharing stuff about racing or whatever. But it's just it was just a Facebook group, Jeremy Clements Racing. I'm pretty sure it was the Facebook page.
It was. We were talking about one thing, and I remember.
I can't remember what it was, but it was something. I don't know.
It was about Road America.
Oh, yeah, probably. I know that viewers that watch this know I talk about Road America ad nauseum, but it's my home track and I love that place. But
Somebody commented and said, "What's your favorite track and why and whatnot that Jeremy's been at?" Rob said something about Road America, and I turned around and said something about Michigan. Well, then he's like, "Oh, hey, you're close." But and then we started talking back and forth about it, and then next thing you know,
You
we were
slid
friends.
into his DM, and that was
that's
it.
all. That's all she wrote. And now I've been to his house twice. I've gone on a trip to Pocono when we sponsored the car, Jeremy's car, and unfortunately we haven't met in person yet, Dave. But I can only imagine the three of us together, what kind of times we will have.
Good Lord, well, so you think you and I are bad? Adrian will be like, "What the actual frick is going on here?"
Yeah,
I don't know about this Dave guy anymore. I think you should stop talking to him. He's a definite bad influence on this whole group.
No, I don't think so, Dave. I think if anything,
No. So hold on. So let me throw this down because Adrian said this yesterday. So you have me at 35, you have Dave at 41, and you've got Rob at 54. So
yeah,
you
it's
got grandpa, dad, and brother or son.
their son. Yeah, yep, yeah. It was,
And
but
grandpa's getting a little gray.
yeah, but
Yeah, I'm just not ready to eat supper at 5 o'clock yet.
or go to bed at like 6:30.
Well, you know I already do that.
Yeah, that's true. You've been working a lot lately, because it's being short staffed at work. So that is, I could totally understand that. But
I think what's funny, and we said this over the weekend. So Rob comes over and he's going like this, and I go, "God, you're starting to look like Santa Claus. I know it's that time of the year, but calm down."
I shaved my beard. I trimmed it before I came to your house, and it's short, but I don't know. It looks a lot bigger on the camera because of the light. But
Yeah. So we know what the biggest surprise was on the podcast for you, which was having Mark Martin on. What have you learned doing the podcast?
the biggest thing I've learned is that first off, I don't need to be Ricky Bobby. I got to stop talking with my hands. And I got to make sure that, by doing the script and everything every week, I got to make sure that I remember people's names. So like with Mark Mullen and Mark Nelson, that one podcast, I called them Mike and Mike. And and I apologize for that. And then there was somebody else, one of the guests, I called him the wrong name. And so I've learned that I need to make sure that
Michael
I go over the
Michelli.
script and make sure I know the names of the people that are on the podcast.
I
do.
know one name you can't say.
What's that?
Michael Michelli.
Michael Michelli, yeah.
Yeah, you can't
I say
his last
Maselli
name
all the time.
You can't say his last name to save your butt.
Michael Maselli, I say that. I even said that to him at the track at Pocono when we met him.
I know, and he looked at you.
Yeah, he looked at me, but he's a really good guy, and like yeah, that's one of the things. The other thing is I ramble. Obviously, you guys make light of it every once in a while that I talk a lot, but that goes back to my days of being a cop and a detective. That's what I did for my job for 21 years, is talk to people. So I get, sometimes when I start talking about something, I get in the mode where I get focused on something and I just keep talking. And
good.
Yeah, so I ramble on sometimes when I shouldn't, but the other thing is obviously computer stuff. I am not computer savvy. I obviously can do the Zoom meeting on my own, but playing videos and doing the music stuff that you do, Bobby, there's no way I could do that.
That's not hard. One of these days I'll
No,
teach
I'm
you.
sure it isn't. It's just I'm just because I'm grandpa here. I just the technology is getting you know too far advanced for my old butt, I guess. Um, but
Yeah, you're not at the jitterbug age yet.
no, I still have a Samsung's Android phone, so
Hey, you don't have the flip phone.
no, don't have the flip phone.
So I know we were talking about this yesterday yesterday. But I'll let you kind of tell Dave and tell everybody else what we were talking about. But what are you hoping to accomplish over the next 6 months to a year?
So what I would like is for our brand podcast to grow. I tried working this goes back to the computer thing. I've been trying to work on getting our podcast on Spotify through Podbean. And I'm having an issue getting the logo to meet the requirements for it to work. So I got to figure it out. I'm going to have to reach out and phone a friend that knows about computer stuff. Either my son or one of his friends that is an IT guy. So, and then hopefully we'll be on Spotify. So that's one short-term goal.
To get that logo to fit, we've told you to breathe probably 20 times over the last 3 or 4 days.
Well, so with my PTSD, it causes me to get angry and agitated easily, unfortunately. So I apologize for that, but that's the big thing with that. And that's also some of the reason why I don't remember names and stuff. There's a lot of times that I'll be talking and I'll forget what I'm talking about in the middle of a sentence. So that's because of my PTSD. But
Well, I will tell you this. So Dave got his package today. Did you you opened it up, right?
Yeah.
Did you see these?
Yeah, I do not know what I'm gonna do with all of them.
So
but
no, here's why I'm telling you guys this. So Rob got 25, you got 25, I got the rest of them. So what we're gonna do is I've had people ask, well, you're not close enough to me or whatnot. If you want these, each one of us have some. Either A, we can take $4 for them, or like I was telling people, if you want two of them, 2 for $4. I don't. We'll figure. We got to get rid of some of them. I still have 100 more in here. So let's spread the love and try to get some of these stickers out. But I told Rob, I said, hey, take this, take a picture of it, and put it on the Spotify. It should work. It's small enough.
So
it's like quit stressing about it.
So we'll try that. I tried it with a different picture and it still didn't work. It's got to be so many pixels and it's got to be perfectly square.
If I have to, I'll reach out to Michael and see if he can change it. But
yeah.
Or use the stupid picture of me grinning with a Coke in my hand. That's always a fan favorite.
We're gonna change up the intro for next season. We have 4 more episodes left in this season, and I actually have a picture of Dave going like this, and I think I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna use that at some point because that is a hellacious picture.
Yeah, well, he's in his Alliance Driveaway Solutions Robert Presley throwback crew shirt, I believe, in that photo.
So what's really funny is I was thinking about this, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but for Christmas I was gonna I don't know if I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna tell you because I really don't know if I'm gonna pull through with it. But I want to do one of those shirts that Anna has, and on the front of it have you going like this. It says Area 50, yeah, like that. It says Area 51 Racing Podcast, Dave approves on the back.
Right.
Because I know you'd wear it. I know
Oh.
you'd get a kick out of it.
Oh, yeah. I think that's actually one of Stacy's favorite pictures. Like I know she's got that one saved on her phone somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
when
do
you
too,
call.
actually.
What-
I don't know if
Hey,
that's weird or not, but yeah, I do too.
hey, no, it's when when he calls her, it comes up on the screen.
Dave approves this phone call.
Yeah, Dave approves this phone call. So, anyways, I want to show this picture. So, Rob, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, so that's a door panel off of the late model that my friend, his name was they called him Insane Wayne Freeman. He raced the 95.3 FM, the Bull radio station in Rockford was a sponsor. So that's why his number is 95.3. And he raced in the Wheel and All American Series, NASCAR Wheel and All American Series at Rockford Speedway weekly. And then at Madison International Speedway, another NASCAR track. And then Slinger Speedway. So it'd be Friday night would be Madison, Saturday would be Rockford, and Sunday would be Slinger. That's the actual picture of our crew and the driver and the car at the spring opener race at Rockford Speedway. And then I have my NASCAR licenses and the licenses from Rockford Speedway from, I think, 15 and 16 or 14 and 15. Or 15 and 16, obviously I can't read, I can see it now. But the driver's license, the NASCAR license, the one that's signed that's actually Kenny Wallace's signature.
I was just about to ask you, is that Kenny Wallace?
Yep, it's his signature. And he was at LaSalle Speedway in Illinois racing his dirt modified. And I went up to him after the race. It was like the week after his brother Mike got beat up by some guys. And I didn't have anything for him to sign, so I whipped that out and I said, "Hey, will you sign my NASCAR license?" And he looks at me like, "What?" And he looks at it and he goes, "Huh," and he signs it. So I thought that was cool. But this is just my memorabilia that I got from racing, stuff from Rockford Speedway, because that's where we raced the most. There's a little hero card for that Michael Bilderback who I helped out. The track is no longer there. It was the longest sanctioned NASCAR track in the United States until this last year. That's an actual original fireworks speedway or fireworks advertisement sign from Rockford Speedway.
I was actually just looking at that. That is a cool piece of memorabilia. I like that.
Yeah.
So what happened is the owner of the track, one of the owners of the track, the son, one night said, "Hey, I just cleaned out one of our sheds, and I have all these old banners and signs and stuff that I want to get rid of. Do any of you guys want it?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'll have it if nobody else wants it." So he gave it to me. So I actually have, and I think I've showed you guys before, but an actual 1983 Winston Racing Series banner, like that was up at the track. I have like two that sign that's smaller, and then there's another huge one that I have in my basement. The two signs above there that says June 29th and 30th, they ran actually World of Outlaws dirt sprint cars and modifieds on Rockford Speedway. They put clay down on the track. And so my son and me and his friends went to that race. Christopher Bell actually raced there. That's where I actually got to meet him. Those posters you can't see in the photos, but they're autographed by a bunch of the drivers from each of the series. And then I got the last program. My son went to the last race. I wasn't able to go because I was not feeling good. He got me the last program from the last race at Rockford Speedway. So Rockford Speedway was a cool track, quarter-mile oval, lots of history there. It was really sad when it shut down. That unfortunately they made it into a development now, commercial development. It was the only area in that area where the track is in Roscoe, Illinois, that wasn't developed as like a commercial business. So they decided once the mom died that they were going to sell it. I think it was 76 years. I think they were open.
That Mark Martin picture looks nice.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Wonder where
Bobby,
you got that. Wonder where
Bobby
you got
and
that
I
from.
traded posters. I had the North Wilkesboro Dale Jr. poster that I had bought, or print, I should say. And he bought the Mark Martin one, so I traded him because obviously I'm a huge Mark Martin fan. So
Yeah,
but
I'm still digging that fender or the door number with the boom tube exit. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's it's autographed by my buddy. So yeah, he actually races dirt cars now. He gave up asphalt and now he's racing dirt modified, or late models, I should say. So this photo is a picture of my dad. He had a 67 GTO when I was born, and it was a stick shift. My mom couldn't drive it, so he had to sell it. So my dad had cancer. He passed away in 2013 from cancer. And the year before Father's Day, my brother and I borrowed a car from a gentleman, and that's the car that we borrowed. That's my dad there in the photo. Borrowed the car for the day, for Father's Day, and he let him drive it. So what we did is we surprised him at the hospital, at the cancer clinic. My brother pulled up with the car, and my dad walked out with my mom, and he told my mom, "Oh my God, that's my GTO." And then he saw my brother in the car, and he's like, "What's going on?" So it was pretty cool. The Milwaukee newspaper did an article on it and took photos and stuff. On the gentleman in Illinois, it was a stranger, complete stranger, sent out a message on Facebook, and he loaned the car to us for free. His name's Joe Kahn, very, very nice guy. And we had a great day that day, driving around. My niece and nephew and my brother and his family and my mom and my kids. It was an emotional day, but it was a fun day. So I think it was last year on Black Friday. Circle B Diecast also has their Black Friday sales, and I got the 67 Regimental Red, which was exactly the same color as my dad had. The diecast there, you can see below his picture. So I have that on my desk here. So
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the most badass thing that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was on, I can't remember the name of the radio show. My brother, this Joe guy that borrowed the car to him, and my dad, it was like some motor sports radio show. They interviewed the three of them about it and stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah, a complete stranger just says, "Hey, go have fun," and make sure he does burnouts with it. I want to see burnt rubber on the side of the car when it comes back. And he actually was going to be selling the car because he ended up getting his original GTO back that he had, and he sold it. And then he regretted it, so he bought this one. And he offered it to us for a super ridiculous price. And I'm so mad at myself that I didn't buy it at the time. But yeah, it's a cool thing. So like I all said, because my dad died he was 67 when he died, 67 GTO. So ironically, I always said if I raced, my number would be 67. And then when Kylie comes on and I see that her number is 67, I was like, what? This is just coincidental or whatever you want to call it. It just was really cool. So, but yeah, The reason why I like cars and racing was because of my dad, and then also obviously my mom too. But my dad was really big into cars, and my mom had a '67 Mustang, like a Robin Zeg Blue. It had a straight six in it, and she ended up selling that too and got a what the hell was it? It was a Ford. I can't think what it was called, with a rounded window in the back. Pinto.
Oh,
She
how
she got
horrible is that?
Yeah, so she went from a Mustang to a Ford Pinto. So
Dave, I know you can see in that picture. If you
Mhm.
look in the background right here,
Yeah,
you see it. What is that? What do you think that is?
that's the Junior 8.
that would
Yeah,
be
but hold on. Let him guess. What is it? What do you think it is?
I'll let him guess and then I'll show you guys.
Turn it
Um,
over though, so it has the other thing.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I am not a well-versed.
So it's a pit sign.
Okay.
Flip it over.
Yep, I bet it's the same one that I bought my old man for the garage when we blessed the garage and hung up all the Dale Jr. stuff, because obviously I was, just at that teenage years where Dale Jr. was the hottest thing since sliced bread.
So that was actually Dad's. So we went over to Dad's on Sunday, and I looked at Rob and I said, "Have you ever seen one of these before?" And he's like, "No, I haven't." That's freaking awesome. I go, "All right, good enough. It's yours."
Yeah, I ended up buying a bunch of stuff from Bobby from his dad's collection, Alan Quickie stuff, so that I didn't surprisingly have.
Say it ain't so, Rob.
I know it's hard to believe, but I
Jen's exact words were, "What the heck's all this?"
yeah. So there was a like a little bin that came in. So she was unloading, helped me unload the truck, and she goes, "What is this?" So, but that's a picture like a with
Panoramic view.
Panoramic, thank you. Panoramic view of my race room and the studio where I do the podcast from. So it shows all my stuff that I have in there on the walls and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here. I got, not only that, I got awards from my years of working at the sheriff's department, and then I have trophies that I won with my car that I totaled being stupid. I had a 2018 Dodge Charger Daytona 392 in Destroyer Gray. And I ended up rolling it on its side a couple of years ago. I think it was October 22. So doing a burnout, and rear suspension on the driver's side broken. We weren't going that fast, and it shot me to the right, and the ditch was chest deep, and my car rolled on its side. So my buddy from North Carolina, Wake Forest, North Carolina, was up here. He just showed up, and he drag races cars. So I told him he could drive my car, and then for some reason I drove it instead. So I don't know. We're just lucky we didn't get hurt. Nobody got hurt, and I learned my lesson. I got a ticket, which I deserved, from the agency that I worked for. So that was a little uncomfortable, putting them in a situation that I didn't know the deputies, but I told them right away that you do whatever you need to do. I definitely deserve whatever I get because of my stupidity. So, and whatever I said, whatever you give me is going to be nothing compared to the ass chewing I'm going to get from my wife. And that was true. So
yeah, that's one of those. You know what? We're just going to take you home to your dad. That's going to be much worse than anything we could ever do to you.
Yeah. So I called my wife, and she was like, I can't remember if I called my wife first, and then I called my son, and my son got there before my wife. and he was like
just to
freaking
protect you.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I'm in a group chat on Facebook with my son and his friends, because they're all good kids, and we used to go to. I had season tickets at like a hockey game at the Milwaukee Admirals and stuff, so that they'd come to games with us and whatever. So I got to know a bunch of his friends, and I'm friends with them, and so I'm in this group with them, at this chat group on Facebook Messenger. So I didn't, since the accident, my name, they changed my name to Dale Earnhardt. So for the group, the chat name, and I never even knew it. And the one day I'm like, who the hell is Dale Earnhardt in this chat group? And they're all laughing. Here it is, me. I didn't even know they changed my name. So, but yeah, have fun.
That's too soon, Rob.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
It's only been 23 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, another day I'll never forget.
Yep.
I watched that race, and I worked second shift at the sheriff's department, and I saw that happen and went to work, and then we had it on TV right before our shift briefing, and I was at the sheriff's department when I heard he passed away. So I worked with a bunch of people that were big NASCAR fans. We were on second shift together. So
that's a whole nother show of where were you at when this happened?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. See, I told you I knew it would kick in at some point. I would forget what I was talking about. So
I can't remember either, Rob.
No, I'm drinking coffee to try to, stay awake, because I'm really tired still from driving back yesterday evening from Bobby's house in Ohio. And by the way, I don't suggest driving through downtown Chicago between, I don't know what time it was, 4 and 6, because I moved from the south side of downtown. Literally, it took 45 minutes to go a third of a mile. And it was an hour and a half for me to get to the north side of downtown.
He left my house at 2, and he didn't get home till 8.
Yeah.
My time. And it's only a 4.5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm. It was a cluster.
So my bad. It's 5.5 hours to come to me. It's 4.5 hours to go back.
Yeah. So
so we're gonna go segment 4, which is Kylie Glick recap. We had her on last week to talk about the championship. There's no new news. Jeremy Clements segment. Rob, do you have anything? I mean, we didn't get to watch it because we were at the hockey game.
Right. I mean, so basically Jeremy qualified 24th, and he practiced 24th, qualified 22nd, and ended up finishing P20. But the most important thing about it is the last 3 races, he needed to finish again ahead of certain drivers to move up into the top 20 in drivers points for the points fund. And he actually, as a result of finishing decent the last couple weeks, he ended up finishing P20 in the drivers points, and then in the owners points P25. So obviously he had a rough year. If something could go wrong, it did go wrong this year, unfortunately. But being a small independent team, they could have said, screw it, and mailed it in. And they never did that, nor have they ever done that. All their partners have stuck by them. The fans have stuck by them. Jeremy, I think, just made a post, I think it was today or yesterday, thanking all his partners and fans and everybody sticking by him through the year, being a rough up and down year. And, that's one of the cool things while being a fan of his, and, knowing him and his partners and stuff. They are 100% supportive of him, and they want him to succeed. But when he doesn't succeed, they still stand by his side and support him. And so hopefully 2025 is a better year. I'm sure we'll hear pretty soon, like last year, about sponsorship, for certain races. Hopefully they're all sold out pretty, quick like last year. And in the off season, they have a bunch of, stuff come their way that helps them out to improve for next year. So, but want to give a shout out to Ty Majeski and Joe Shear Jr. for winning the truck championship. They are both.
I think he froze.
Yep. I think we just lost Santa Claus.
Yep, I think so too. Yep, there he goes. He actually gone. There he is.
The two teams that I was affiliated with, we raced against Ty. So Ty raced in a late model, then a super late model, and he got hooked up with his crew chief Toby Noodleman, who's a genius for short track racing. And Ty has a lot of success, and now he's got a NASCAR truck championship. So to go with a whole bunch of super late model championships and big race wins. So kid's super talented. I'm super happy for Thor Sport Racing. Huge fan of theirs. I love Ben Rhodes too. I'm a huge fan of his. Dave Pepper, he's their like CEO or whatever race director or whatever they call him.
Race director.
He's a good guy. So I'm really happy for them, Duke and Rhonda, that own Thor Sport. I saw I think it was their daughter Allison did a shoey with Ty. Ty did one also. So they carried on the tradition of Ben Rhodes and Victory Lane doing the old shoey celebration. So I thought that was cool. For the Xfinity Series, Bobby and I, we got to see the very end of the race. And Justin Allgaier ended up winning. We were both happy for that. We were like, okay, we're watching for Hollywood, who was one of our guests. That's the hauler driver, previous guest on our show. We were like, how many times are we going to see him on TV?
We spotted him 12 times
Yeah.
in the interview between Dale Jr. and Justin Allgaier. And you watch him when they first show Justin coming out of the car, he's on this side of the car. Next thing you know, he's on this side of the car. Then he's on over here, and then he's here, and then he's here, and then he's here, and then he's here. And it's like, holy crap, dude, he moves fast. And then they go to talk to Dale Jr., and they still have Justin in the screen, and all you see is Hollywood go like this and dump water all over him.
Yeah, I wonder how many bottles of water he dumped on him. It was at least 2. He dumps one on him on the track when he gets out of the car, and then he does another one during the interview. Yeah. So, but super pumped for Justin Allgaier. Great guy. Similar to Jeremy Clements, just a down-to-earth, good racer. So really happy for him. I think, what was it, his 7th attempt or something like that at a championship, and he finally got his first. So that's awesome. Congratulations to him. And then the Cup Series, Dave's favorite driver, Joey Logano, won the championship. So congratulations to Joey and Team Penske for the win. I did preseason, before the season started, I picked Majeski to win the championship and Allgaier to win the championship, but I had Denny Hamlin winning the Cup championship. So 2 for 3. That's not bad. So
and I went 2 for 3 also.
Yeah. So
I picked Tyler Reddick. Dave, how many did you get?
I can't remember what I ate for dinner. but I'm pretty sure I picked Kyle to win it. I would have probably picked Eckes, and then
Sammy.
Yeah, I probably would have picked Sammy Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, because I go, hey Dave, who you picking to win the race? And he goes, Sammy Smith. Didn't even hesitate, just slapped it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I got to stick with my KBM boys.
Yeah, we know. So, Dave, I'm gonna give you your plug.
Yeah. I was over at the Racing Warehouse this afternoon, picking up a Christmas present, I think. I don't know yet, but if you guys are not following them on Facebook, they are having a 50% off nose and tail sale. So the way it works is go to theracingwarehouse.com. Just go over to the left, click on the link, and it'll drop down everything you could want, from hoods to bumpers, windshields, apparel, all that stuff. Go into noses and bumpers, scroll down, and then you can pretty much pick out, I think last time I looked, I had 21 different pages of noses and bumpers, and just scroll through those, and you can pretty much pick any of the noses and bumpers. There are some that are excluded, like I think they got a Chase Elliott one up there right now, which is obviously not part of the sale. The only reason I bring this up is all the noses and bumpers are 50% off. So you can have a bumper like what I have, what Bobby has. I want to say for right around 150 to 200 bucks at your door. That includes shipping, everything except for sales tax. And you have until Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. because the last shipment for the postal service will be Friday. And when I tell you they got rows and rows and rows of of just about everybody you could possibly think of, but also Jeremy Clements noses. I know they still have a ton of what is it? The Spartan, the wings, etc. They still got. I forget what the.
All self electric, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, they have the
we
all self
consider all
electric.
self.
They have the rear bumper of the First Pacific Funding Texas car.
Texas car, yeah.
They have the wings, etc. 2023. They have. I'm on the website.
Right.
That's what I had to pull it up real quick.
But if you go to theracingwarehouse.com, scroll through those, add them to your cart, and then type in last chance, like as in the last chance that they're going to be able to deliver without huge expense, full noses and tails.
Yeah, they'll have to ship it freight. They said because something about the shipping center is closing down or something.
Yep, the shipping center is closing down. So if you don't act on this, I mean, the Racing Warehouse is probably one of the last sheet metal places out there that you can still do this with. I know the other one had shut down, I think it was 2 weeks ago, for the same reason. They both ship out of the same hub. The Racing Warehouse was able to keep it open just a little bit longer. But I just want to let you guys know that, this is your last opportunity outside of, coming down here to the Charlotte area or getting a bumper in 3 pieces and trying to figure out how the hell to put it together and make it look right. So, $200 for a full nose, a full tail. Me and Bobby were talking earlier, and we were looking online, and we do not need one by any stretch of imagination, but for that cheap, and all the drivers are on sale. Full NASCAR, Xfinity, trucks, excluding your higher ups, your Chase Elliott's, Joey Logano, stuff like that. There's a couple that are excluded from the sale, but just go on there, and please, before they're gone or cut up, which is me being a collector, one of the worst things that can happen is, watching these cool pieces get chopped up. So the way they're going to do it is, the way it was explained to me is you're going to be able to get say for instance, Jeremy's car. You're going to get a passenger side headlight with the door number on it. You'll be able to get the grill with the Camaro on it, or you'll be able to get the driver side, which has the JCR logo with the headlight on it. And those are going to be the only way that they're shipped now. Because they were telling me that average freight through, say, UPS or FedEx was going to be right around $300 just to ship the bumper. So I reached out to Eric, asked him for permission to let anybody know that wasn't part of the Facebook group. But definitely head over there and pick up your favorite driver's nose or tail, and even look through some of the ones that you don't know or didn't know that you wanted. And there's some cool ones that just have silly schemes and stuff like that on it that would just look absolutely awesome in a collection.
So speaking of Racing Warehouse, so I think it was Sunday. Unfortunately, Bobby Allison passed away. Yep. NASCAR legend, great. I was a big fan of his as well. Bobby and I Bobby actually had saw in the Racing Warehouse, they actually had a quarter panel from Bobby Allison's car, and then they had the side of his son, Davey Allison's Havoline number 28 car from 91 from Martinsville.
Yep, and I got to see those today firsthand, and you talk about stellar pieces, and to bring back some nostalgia, to be able to put your hand on Bobby Allison's car, just to put your hand on it, or even the late great, I guess they're both late great now, but Davey Allison was one of my favorites growing up. I always liked that 28 and the paint scheme.
Yep.
And to put your hand on something like that almost gives you kind of goosebumps.
100%.
To see it and know that he put his leg over that door and raced it. It's cool things like that that I don't want to say I take for granted, but when I go there, Linda is absolutely awesome. Emily's absolutely awesome. Of course, Eric and the Queen Killa, Mustache Mike, they're all just absolutely wonderful people. Rankin just got himself a deer up in Canada the other day, and so he was showing off those pictures. But it's such a nice group of individuals as well, and they want to help out the fans and give them what they want before this is destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby, I thought he was joking when he said, "Oh no, this is on the Racing Warehouse." I'm like, "No way!" Yeah. And I brought it up on my phone, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is like the Holy Grail."
Yeah.
And then he obviously didn't know he had passed away until later, and then he's like, "Oh, I didn't have any idea he passed away or whatever." I believe that Bobby Allison quarter sold for $1,010, which was actually cheap. I figured it would sell for closer to $3,000 at least. And then as far as the Davey Allison,
1,020.
Well, is that what it was? Because
yeah, 1,020. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. Because Eric had turned off the comments on that post, because people were saying, "Do not, whatever you do, cut that up. Do not cut it up. Do not cut it up," because of the history. And somebody said that it's worth between $5,000 to $10,000, and very well could be to a collector. But
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you see something like that, a whole side of a car from that era? I mean, you don't see that very often, especially from somebody of that caliber. I mean,
and they were so nice for being what they were.
Oh yeah.
I believe they came out of a restaurant, but obviously Bobby's quarter panel, back then, they were throwaway stuff, and somebody just happened to either have it in a barn or put it in a storage or hang it up somewhere, put it down in their basement, and then it ended up at a restaurant for years and years and years. And then Eric obviously got the call to come get them, and of course you do not have to be asked twice when somebody offers something up like that. And if you've been a fan of the Racing Warehouse on Facebook, you've seen some of the monumental stuff that they go through there.
They had a Harry Gant, like the Skull Bandit hood.
Yep,
and I think they had a rear decklet at one time, and it just
the
crazy
hood,
stuff. Dale Senior stuff.
Full aero coupe side.
Yeah.
I personally got to touch that one. I was only here for probably about 6 months, and I was brand new into collecting sheet metal, and I was there all the time because being from Michigan and growing up a huge race fan, and then moving down here, and I'm like, this stuff exists. I've never seen anything like this a day in my life. And I'm not gonna lie, they had a raffle on it, and because Eric thought that was the best way to get rid of, or not get rid of, but to sell that side, was to give it to a fan. Not just the person with the biggest pockets, because he could have sold that thing for under the table, probably stupid money. But I want to say it was like $20 a spot, and I was there the night that they did the live raffle, and I forget who got it, but they had put in one ticket for it, and people had spent hundreds of dollars putting money into that raffle, and it took one person, if I remember right. I could be a little clouded up on that one, but I was there when they picked it out of the box, and it was extreme.
It's amazing that like you said, the Racing Warehouse has all the sheet metal, and they offer it for reasonable price. But the best thing is, when you buy it, a portion of that money is going back to that race team to help them stay on the track, which is cool.
Yep.
So every Jeremy Clements piece that you buy, a portion of that money is going back to his team to help him, stay on the track, which is, it's a sweet deal.
I would like to think that I've sponsored at least 50 to 100 laps, a tank or two of Sunoco fuel to put in that car.
Oh, I'm certain you probably have, based on just the pieces you have in the background there.
It's stupid.
I'm not there yet.
No, I'm not either, but
don't let it get this far, boys. Get help before it's too late.
I mean, I had the whole entire side.
There's the sheet metal hotline. It's kind of like the suicide hotline for veterans. But
I think the racing hotline is Rob and I telling you to calm down.
Just stop, Dave. Stop. Don't go. Yeah.
But I will say one thing. I'm sitting here before we start going through this. So I want you to turn around, Dave. I want you to look at your door number. No, turn the other way. Look at your door number. Look at the ghost. Okay.
Yep.
The ghost looks like he's eating the chicken.
Yeah, maybe I'm just at a different angle, but yeah.
Yeah, from here it looks like he's going like this, and he's coming right at him, gonna eat him. I took a picture of it, and I'm gonna send it to you in the group chat. But you see it, Rob?
It better
Yeah,
not
now
eat.
that you say that, I do. Yeah.
It
Better,
looks like the ghost is like his mouth's open, and it's like gonna eat him.
better not. I waited 3 years to get that chicken. It was part of the collection at the racing warehouse. You know, it was just one of those cool things where you don't see a chicken drinking beer that often.
Yeah.
And I just kept bugging them and bugging them and bugging them, and eventually it ended up at the second location.
Hey, Bobby, before we go, do you have that one photo that I sent you of me, the driver and the crew chief?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna share it though, unless you want me to.
Yeah, because there's a reason why I want to, if you could.
I didn't wanna embarrass you.
No, you're not going to embarrass me at all. So, Bobby's showing a photo of me. On the right, in the middle is our driver, Wayne Freeman, and on the left is the crew chief, Greg Freeman. And so Greg and Wayne and I were huge Kiss fans. Greg was like ultra Kiss fan, a member of the Kiss Army. So he used to dress up and go to concerts. So he convinced me and my friend Wayne to dress up for the Kiss concert in Aurora, Illinois. And then the Milwaukee Fiserv Forum concert, the end of the road tour. And so I was Peter Criss. The driver was Paul Stanley, was Ace Frehley. And then my friend Greg, the crew chief, was Paul Stanley. So the reason why I wanted to share that is that Greg, unfortunately, had passed away. He was the owner of All-Star Heating and Cooling, the primary sponsor on our car. He passed away a couple years ago from cancer. So I just wanted to share that photo and say that I dedicate this show to his memory. Great guy. I really miss him. His wife, Sharon, and his daughter, Andrea, are great people. And yeah, so Greg, miss you, brother, and I love you. And thanks for all the fun times. So, but that's the main reason why I wanted to share that. So that picture. So we did have a bond outside of racing. We did do some other stuff. But that's the purpose behind that. So
you had a chance to be either Chris or Gene Simmons, and you went with the cat.
Yes. Well, I was told what I was going to be.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, are you kidding me right now?
So the car chief was supposed to be Gene Simmons.
Okay.
And he said, no, we actually, and I'm not kidding you, we went to Ulta Beauty and had our makeup done professionally. If you saw the photo, people actually thought we were like one of those tribute bands.
Right. I've seen those guys with the midgets. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't the midget one. There's another one. I could have been maybe a midget. No, I'm just kidding. But people actually were taking pictures with us, like at both of the concerts, and asking us, "Are you this tribute band? Are you this?" I'm like, "No." But for like, I'm not kidding you, for like an hour and a half, we had people taking pictures, and we said we should have collected money and given it to a charity.
Right.
But I mean, it was cool, doing that, and it was fun. But yeah, I retired after the two shows. So my friend, actually, Greg, that he went to, I don't know, like 4 or 5 of the end of the road tour. He actually flew one of the makeup artists from Ulta Beauty to Nebraska to one of the shows to do their makeup. So he had his buddies. He was from Nebraska, so he had his buddies in Nebraska dress up and stuff. So, but my costume, majority of it I made, and stuff. So it ended up worked out real good. It was fun.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm not gonna.
the reason why I wanted to share it, is just to say in memory of him. So,
but I would have not said embarrassed at all. There's
not at all.
There was plenty of years that I was the alien and the star child, for Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Big Kiss fan since I was a young kid. And when they had the Kiss Army magazines and everything, it was fun going to those concerts and everything. So, but yeah, Greg was an awesome guy and amazing crew chief. He actually was a tire changer for Ron Breeze Jr., who raced in the ARCA Remax series back in the day. And he won some championship out, Toyota championship, I don't know, some race in California. And that was their his big championship thing that he had as a crew member. So, but yeah, great guy, really miss him. And so, yeah, that's the reason behind that photo, that even though it doesn't really have anything to do with racing, it was something that we did together. And I just wanted to, dedicate this show to him in his memory. So I'm wearing, like I said, the hat, the uniform, and the crew shirt that I wore back in the day when we were racing. So, but I'm done rambling for now. So
you're good. So one last thing I have before I start doing my thing. So we sent this to Dave. So I almost got him out of retirement. I almost got him to drive a car again. Rob, how hard is iRacing?
It is hard, I must say, but it's addictive. It's fun. What did you call me, Dave? When we FaceTime?
Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The old
He's
number
the real
99, Dick Trickle. So I told Bobby, I said, if I wish I would have known you were gonna call me Dick Trickle, I would have had a cigarette hanging out the corner of my mouth.
But I can remember that, just like I can remember who the else was it?
JD McDuffie.
And Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer.
Yeah. Had the open face helmet and would, be on caution laps smoking a Winston, ashing it out the window net.
You can tell actual Dick Trickle cars because he had actual cigarette lighter in his race cars.
No shit.
Yep. Yeah. Honestly, had a cigarette lighter in the race cars. The old school one where you push in and heat up, and that's how he lit his cigarettes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
See, for you kids listening, that's now where we plug our phones into to charge them. Back in the day, there was a thing called smoking instead of vaping, and that would actually get hot enough to light a cigarette.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I tried Road America and that wasn't successful. I don't even think I made a lap, but I did do an IndyCar at Indianapolis and was driving over 200 miles an hour. That was freaking cool, exhilarating. I mean, that, and then what was it, Atlanta?
He couldn't even get out of turn 3. He would go in and all of a sudden he'd be like, "Oh, I got this!" Bam. I'm like, dude, down farther. I'm like, get up for a second. So I'd show him, and I'd be doing like 223, 224, freaking, and I'm like, look, like you just have to lightly go in there, get it right up against the wall, lightly get back, and I'm doing it, and I'm blistering the lap, and he's like, all right, I think I got this. Get in the corner, and all of a sudden you see Rob go, man.
No, so what it was is I just had my foot buried because that's what he was doing. And for me, I needed to just learn how to like control the gas just to so you could get the car to turn enough until I got confidence enough in getting the line down right. So
when you race as much as I did.
Right. I mean, that's the first time I've ever done iRacing. It was cool.
now we got to get Dave to come and try it and see if Dave can give me some run for my money.
I have a feeling you probably could, because you've raced before. Well, motorcycle race, but you've raced before, so and been around racing with your dad. So
I've got my shifter cart license.
yeah, so I think you probably would do better than me.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that, Rob.
So my reaction times, being an old guy, aren't as good as you young whippersnappers. So, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was addicting and fun, but not to the point where I would
you're not
buy a sim.
You're not going to go out and buy a 20 grand
no,
No, I
have no
literally,
place to put it.
I don't have, I mean, I have good pedals, I have a good steering wheel and all that, but nothing that expensive. I think what makes my racing what it is the monitor. The monitor, it literally, and you can ask Rob this. That monitor, when you're driving, you're dead center inside of the car, and it makes it so much easier to stare at the screen. Didn't it, Rob?
Yes.
So Stacy said that the picture that pops up when Dave calls is much cheesier than that.
I can only imagine.
He's sitting there going, "Lovely."
You guys know me all too well, and if you knew me a little better, you would understand some of my antics. But the level of stupidity, I can only imagine what the picture is. So, and of course, I'm not calling her while we're together. So I've honestly never seen it. But
well, that's what you need to call yourself when you're sitting there and be like, "Oh my God."
No, I'll leave that up to her. That'll no dogs were harmed in the filming.
All right, guys. Well, it's 9:37. We're gonna try to wrap this up real quick. Reminder: if you have not done so, go to stickygears.com to purchase the Area 51 Racing T-shirts for $15. The money that you pay goes directly to Jeremy Clements Racing to keep Jeremy on the track. Also, check out Anamora Designs LLC for tumblers, cups, garden flags, t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever you can think of. Get your orders in before December 1st. She is closing shop for the holiday. So Dave, Rob, get your Christmas gifts in there.
I actually just got one of the packages today.
I just sent out a couple. Those will be going out tomorrow. Galley Beard Products is a partner of Area 51 Racing Podcast. Go to the galleybeard.com, place an order. Put your discount code Area 51 to get 15% off and free shipping. Dave, Rob, what do we say? Make them say it.
Say it.
Golly.
And I can tell you, their products work. They attract people. The beards and the oil. Yep. They make you smell good.
We'll just leave it at the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fans.
Check
Check out the Racing Warehouse, like Dave said, for their special code. Dave, what was that code again?
It is the racingwarehouse.com. Look at all the noses and bumpers and hell, everything else that they got listed there. But noses and bumpers, the special code for checkout is last chance. Please, for only $1 a day, you too can save a nose or a bumper from a Sawzall. In the arms of an angel, fly away.
I'm sorry, Dave.
It's all right.
I was not expecting you to start singing on the podcast.
It's all right. You know,
Hey, you know what? I think we
for,
figured it out.
It's for a cause.
Yes.
Stacy's probably going, what in the heck?
No,
So I think we figured it out now.
She would expect nothing less. I make my dog and cats watch those commercials during, you know, Christmas time, and when people get their tax returns, they're like, for 38 cents a day, you too can adopt a dog, and it's got like a bolt sticking out of its head, and you're kind of like, you know what? I probably should just call in and get the world champion, like Sonny there. I mean,
Jesus. So, guys, remember, go to Armadillo Apparel for your hats, your shirts, your sweatshirts. The guys actually just seen this stuff. I just sent a what is wrong with you? I just sent in some pretty cool swag. Rob actually seen it when he was
Yeah,
here.
it turned out really nice.
And they actually they came out amazing. JCR Spartan Waste Racing.
Only problem is one came back with no sleeves.
It's a freaking vest.
Yeah, it's to show off his sleeve tattoo.
Oh,
yeah.
Now I get it. You don't wear a shirt underneath it, and you just wear the.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta see the tats, dog.
The sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's Ohio for you.
Sun's out, guns out, baby. All year round.
Not in Ohio, it's gray.
Sun's out, guns out, year round, baby. Anyways.
All right. Back to business.
Yeah, mind your biscuits. We'd like to thank our partners
What
who make
did
the
you say?
podcast possible.
Did you just say mind your biscuits?
Why?
Don't you? Oh shit. All right, Bobby, I'm sorry. I'll stay quiet.
Oh, you're good. I'm over here I'm over here dying. It was good.
So I was going to say before, when Dave was singing, since I'm not technologically savvy on doing the intro or the outro, Dave could just sing those now.
No,
if you're not
don't.
on the show, Bobby.
I think we'll lose too many viewers over that.
I don't know. That Nigerian crowd.
Even the Nigerian crowd's gonna be like, I ain't listening to that.
Right.
You never know.
They might start
Ratings may
chanting,
go up.
Dave. So anyways, we'd like to thank all of our partners who make the podcast possible. Spartan Waste, 98.3 Fox Sports, Spartanburg, Impel Union, Alliance Driveway Solutions, First Pacific Funding, Elite Towing and Recovery. Sorry. I was about to sneeze, I thought. Whitetail Smokeless, Fly Inform Concrete Structures, Runner's Roost, Matman Designs, Action RV, Booze Pops, Nordic Logistics, Wings, etc. Anamor Designs, Gale, Sherfit Companies, High Speed Auto, Enigma Tattoo, Kylie Glick, Jeremy Clements and Jeremy Clements Racing, and all of our fans. I mean, I can't thank you all enough for tuning in every week and supporting us. And like I said, 4 more episodes for this season, and then Rob, Dave, and I are going to go hardcore on trying to make 2025 hella sweet.
And don't forget to go to our Facebook page, or Twitter page, I think it is. Chef Joseph Anslowitz came up with a new burger recipe that looks really good. Yeah. He shared it, and he claims that it tops his previous Jeremy Clements burger, that recipe that he shared on our page. So go ahead and check that out, and let Joe know how you like his burger creation. So I'm definitely going to try it. It looks really good.
Yeah. If I would have had enough time, I would have made it this weekend, but we just kind of ran out of time. So, all right, guys. Well, with that being said, this is episode 46 in the books, and we will see you guys next week for episode 47 with a very special guest.
In the arms of
No. Come on now. This thing does not want to play.
It's because I'm singing.
It's a veteran underdog. ice cream truck. Booze pop, baby, it's booze pop, baby. Bringing people together. One booze pop at a time. Let's go. We're gonna rock out with our pops out, baby. It's the only pop that keeps you warm. You can rock out to go to boozepop.com.
This is Bobby, Dave, and Rob signing off. Y'all have a good night. We will see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Have a good night.